was just thinking about I have a lot to do, and now I feel like making a list.
Do it. Should I keep this in while you make your list? Do you want to talk us through your list while you make it?
Because there might be spoilers, you know?
Welcome to Mysteretical, where we take a theoretical approach to solving mysteries. I'm Lynn.
And I'm JP.
And today we're heading back to the year that Vietnam War ended. NASA? NASA and the Soviet Union took their first joint trip to space. Betamax tapes were released and the blockbuster Jaws came out. That's right. We're going back to 1975, where we'll be discussing the murder of Lindy Sue Biechler.
Ooh. I thought you were going to say where NASA was on the moon. I was like, damn.
That was the fifth. We discussed that and I don't remember. I also just watched a huge documentary about the moon landing.
I think it was the 60s.
Are we doing this again? I don't know.
No, we're not doing it again.
50?
People just listen to our last few episodes so that, you know, and the answer is in there.
Somewhere. I think that was episode 1, but okay.
Listen for it, guys. Go backwards from this one.
You can find it. We will send you a gift.
Nothing. A packet of emergency. Stay safe.
Some hand sanitizer that I made in my kitchen.
It's just vodka.
It's just vodka. So when we were driving for DoorDash at one point sent us masks and hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Which was like super sweet. But their hand sanitizer, it smells like straight vodka.
Yeah.
Like it's
I know. I've definitely tried hand sanitizer it just reeks of vodka. If I was hungover and put that hand sanitizer on my hands, I'd throw up all over.
Yeah.
It's gross. Yeah.
Yeah. I bought a new one that's like a Dr. Bronner's one. It's like mostly rubbing alcohol, but then it has lavender oil in it. So it smells really, really good.
Yeah. I just have like various ones. I have a few that my sister got from somewhere. I don't know where she got them, but she sent them to me, and they weren't like really bad smelling, and they had aloe in them too. So
I love that. Yeah. Not as drying.
Yeah. I went to Lush though, and I got the scrub bar for your hands.
Yeah.
It's not to clean them, but it's like to lotion them. And to like get all the
exfoliate.
Yeah. And it like smooths them or whatever.
Ooh.
So I got one of those when I was at Lush.
Nice.
And I'm excited to try it. I know. I love it. I love it there. It's so expensive. I love it.
I just can't. My only issue is when you walk in, it's like old Abercrombie and Fitch stores with the smell, and it just like smacks you. Like it's not a bad smell. Like Abercrombie is a very distinct smell.
Yeah.
It's just overpowering. There's like too many scents.
Yeah. No, I get it. And especially if you don't know what you want, like what you're going in there for. I always know I get like a body wash and I get like a couple other things, but every now and then I'll find myself like perusing or browsing and stuff. And I'm like, oh, overload.
I usually look up what I want first and then I go to the store and buy it.
Yeah.
But I know what I'm going for, so I can go in and be like, hi, I want this. Can you just give it to me?
Just show me where to go.
You don't need to gift wrap it or do anything fancy.
No.
Just give it to me. And if you have free samples of like lip gloss, I will take one. Please give me a free. I have like a massage bar. It's just oil, but it looks like a bar of soap.
Yeah.
And Franz used it recently and he's like, this isn't oil. And I was like, no, just do this. And it's literally like
it's in your hands.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it smells really good.
I love that. I do. And Bath and Body Works is the same, where you go and you sniff all those candles and stuff.
I used to buy so much stuff from there.
Yeah. I went because they were having a sale.
Aren't they always?
Yeah, I know. I just
permanent sale.
It's like this is our semi-annual. bi-monthly sale.
It's like once a month.
You gotta come now.
There's one day a month where that sale is not happening.
Yeah, I know. Don't go on that month. Or just order online,
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I haven't given them money in a long time and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I shouldn't have, but I did. I needed candles. I needed like aromatherapy for sure.
Yeah. I've looked too much into like what fragrance means, so I'm against fake fragrance.
Yeah.
Because they could be anything and no one has to tell you. No one has to say
No.
anything.
Nope.
And like old cologne and stuff used to be made out of like whale sperm. So I'm good,
Yummy.
So I don't really have a real reason why I chose this case.
You don't need one.
Well, so my good friend Amanda, she'll be so happy I said her name.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Mandy. She sends me stuff that she's like, oh my God, you guys should cover this. And oh my God, you guys should cover this and whatever. And we haven't done any that she's told me yet. And
did you add her suggestions to our list?
I have them saved on my like Google Chrome because I have Messenger on my phone. I don't use it on my computer at all. So I have them saved and I just have to switch them over. So I do have them, but I just haven't done any yet that she like wanted me to do. And then she sent me this one and I was just looking for a case. So I looked into it and it was fascinating. So there we are. It's old, like I said, 75.
Yeah.
40. It's almost 50 years ago.
Yeah, it's 45 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
46.
No, 44. No, 46. Yeah, time goes that way.
Not backwards. It doesn't get smaller as we go forward. Who cares? Time's fake.
Yeah.
It does have more recent news from the last, like, I kept saying a year, but it's really 2 years because we're in 2021.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've said that out loud. I don't care for it.
I don't like it. Yeah.
It doesn't ring off the 2020 had like a 2021. Yeah. It's not, I don't know. It just doesn't feel as good.
No.
I was also just bored of conspiracy theories since we did a couple and I want to do a murder.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Love murder.
So, who is Lindy Sue Biechler? I'm hoping I'm saying her last name right. It's Biechler, I think.
Okay.
It may be somewhat of a hometown-ish for you because she was a very pretty 19-year-old from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, that is.
That's why I asked you if you had heard of it because I was like, I hope he wasn't like, oh, I was planning on doing that one. And I would have not done it. But
I might know this one then.
I figured you might if you hear details. I know names are. I'm bad with names too. People are like this case, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. But once I look at it,
give me the details. Yeah.
But I didn't want to give you the details.
I think it is Biechler though. It
Biechler.
Sounds, yeah,
because Biechler sounds wrong. She was born in like a week 64 years ago. I didn't realize that when I picked it. She was born on January 31st, 1956.
Okay.
She was a newlywed and they still lived in Lancaster County with her husband. I did write his name, but I'm not going to say it because he is innocent. So I'm not going to put his stuff up there. He is.
Okay.
He was at the time a student at Millersville State College.
Yeah, I know that place.
I bet. How far did you, where in Pennsylvania is this compared to where you grew
I
up?
was about an hour from Lancaster, only because the way that the freeways are set up or the highways are set up, from where I lived, I probably could have gotten to Lancaster pretty quickly if there was like a direct line, but it's not. You have to go up all the way up to Harrisburg, and then you start going down south.
Oh,
and then you go through. Yeah, it's really weird. And then I could also take the turnpike, but the turnpike even goes north and then goes south. It's just, I don't know.
The highway to my sister's does that. Like I can take all the back roads and it's more direct. Or if I take the highway, I have to like go south to go up. Like it doesn't, it's just not convenient.
No.
That is an East Coast thing, I feel.
Yeah, they're like, let's just drive you all over the place and then dump you out where you need to be.
You're going to go in the opposite direction of where you're trying to go for like a good 30 minutes. Lindy worked at Landis Flower and Gift Shop and had spent December 5th, 1975, tying large ribbons around poinsettia plants, which I just thought was cute. It's not relevant to anything. I just thought it was.
When is that?
December 5th, 1975.
December 5th. Okay. Mm-hmm. Poinsettias are gross. I hate poinsettias, by the way.
Really? Why do you think they're gross?
Well, first of all, they never die.
Yeah.
And then second off, I think they're poisonous to dogs.
They are. Because my mom used to get them for holidays.
Yeah.
But she would put them up like really high so the dogs couldn't.
I've never been attracted to them.
Cats are allergic to onion and garlic.
Oh.
Let's see. So she left work at 5:15 p.m. She stopped by her husband's job to pick up his paycheck. I believe he was there working and she was.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then went grocery shopping.
Like, that's illegal.
It's not if you're like allowed, like if they let you know. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So she went to get it, I think, from him so she could go grocery shopping because that's where she went next. She went to John Herr's Village Market before going home. She had 4 bags of groceries that cost her $46.
Wow.
4 bags of groceries cost me like $2.50.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ugh. To be back then.
Uh-huh.
Granted, I know minimum wage. Well, I guess minimum wage was kind of the same, wasn't it? $7.25.
Yeah.
Government, are you listening? Just checking. A neighbor saw her around 7 p.m. that evening, bringing her groceries inside her first floor apartment. This is a sign that first floor apartments are not good unless you have a dog.
I was going to say, I have a first floor apartment and I've always sworn against having a first floor apartment because of like those reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Except mine is gated and there's like shrubs out there kind of like blocking the windows, so no one really can like see in or anything. And
I don't feel like I would be uncomfortable in your apartment at all.
Although whenever I came back from my vacation, I looked outside my window and there were like someone had thrown 3 passports over the fence and I could see them like laying there. I mean, I had no way of getting to them or anything. They're not there anymore. So.
Oh, I was gonna say, go get them.
I know, but they weren't U.S. passports either. So someone was here on vacation, had their shit stolen with their passports in it. I know that
sucks.
Horrible. It's horrible. Like that would be a nightmare when I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
I think you go to like your consulate and figure it out from there. But even then, it's probably like.
That's a headache and probably money.
And expensive. Yeah. Because you got to order rapid passports to get them in time for your next flight.
And then if they're missing 3, ugh. That sucks.
Yeah.
I feel bad for those people.
Me too. And then it rained.
Oh, no. It did rain. We had a thunderstorm.
Yep.
On the day after Christmas. I don't remember.
The day after. The day after the day after.
The day after the day. Anyway, let's go back to it. So she had a first floor apartment. I'm also against them. If I live on a first floor, I've always told friends I want several pit bulls or Rotties or just anything big and scary. They don't have to be scary dogs. Just they have to scare other people.
Right.
They can be snuggly bunny rabbits for all I care. Lindy was found in her apartment in Manor Township, Pennsylvania on December 5th, 1975. The groceries were still in their bags on the kitchen table.
So it happened as soon as she walked in the house.
Yeah. So let's look at the facts. At 8:40, this is like, I found this article type blog thing. I don't remember if I have it listed up there. I just can't remember. And it broke down like when things were reported in newspapers. So this is basically like a calendar of when. Yeah. And it's all in order unless I've messed something up with my dyscalculia, but probably not. So at 8:42 p.m., only an hour and 42 minutes after she was seen, because she was last seen by a neighbor around 7 o'clock.
What did her husband do?
I don't know. It couldn't find it anywhere.
Okay. But he must be working late.
Well, everything was like, he's a student. So,
Okay. So maybe
and-
he was like a bartender or something on the side as he was
Right.
a student or something. Okay. So he would have to have shift workers
Yeah.
of some sort.
So yes, this was an hour and 42 minutes after she was last seen on Friday. The Manor Township Police received a call. It said Sergeant James Reaver took the call, but like, why would a sergeant take it and not a dispatcher? I thought that was bizarre.
Yeah.
It's just what the newspaper said. I don't know. It was Lindy's uncle calling, and her uncle said that he came to visit her in her apartment that night and found her body.
At 8:42 p.m.
There's reasons. I'll get there. Another
Okay.
article was talking about how it was her aunt and uncle. So I don't know if it was both of them or just one, but I know that her uncle was the one that made the call. He claimed that the door was unlocked, and when he entered, he saw Lindy's body face up, fully clothed, lying right by the apartment door. The apartment had blood on the floor, the door, in the living room. And the police sergeant said there weren't any signs of a violent struggle. But another article from another police sergeant was like, she fought. And I believe she did. There wouldn't be blood all over the place if she didn't fight for her life.
Right.
And I didn't say that part yet. Someone said that they had tried to sexually assault her. And I was like, you can't try to sexually assault somebody and fail if they didn't fight back. Like she was obviously fighting. And then they also found like defensive wounds on her hands and her arms. So she fought back.
Good for her.
The grocery bags, like I said, were on the kitchen table. There were no signs of forced entry. So obviously people think that it's someone that she knew. And in my personal opinion, and then it was later proven in another article that it is a theory that her door was unlocked or possibly ajar and that person like followed her in.
Yeah.
Or possibly knocked. Because I don't think they followed her in immediately, because if not, she would have dropped the bags on the floor.
Right.
I don't think she would have put them on the table.
On the table, right.
So
they
either
definitely like, maybe she couldn't, her hands were full. She couldn't lock the door. They probably just walked in right after her.
Which I say you should never do. You should always just close and lock it. There's no delay.
Mine has like this key where I can unlock it. And then as I'm opening the door with the key, I lock it right away.
Oh, nice. That's smart. Mine's a deadbolt, so I can't do that.
Yeah.
I like deadbolts, though. They make me feel
good.
One, I can't lock my keys in my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I just feel safer with a deadbolt.
Yeah.
Anyway, lock that shit. Always.
Yeah.
A lamp had also fallen off of an end table. I'm assuming that means in the living room, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, also the apartments probably aren't that big. So
right. And it's probably a one bedroom.
It's probably right there, like the kitchen, dining room, living room, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Her killer tried to sexually assault her, like I said, stabbed her 19 times.
Oh, shit.
Several of the wounds would have been fatal, including some that were in her heart. And when her uncle had found her body, she still had the butcher knife in her neck.
Wow. Okay, so this is not an experienced killer, and it sounds like a rage killing.
Yes. And it's very personal. 19 times is like
you have a lot of anger. Yeah.
Rage, for sure. Her wounds were inflicted by it was an 8-inch butcher knife that came from her own kitchen, the one that was there. And then some articles stated there was another knife involved, but I couldn't find any more information about that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's true. She was stabbed 3 times in the neck, 11 times in the upper abdomen and chest, and 5 times in the back. She had lacerations in her right common I hate this word, corduroy. That artery.
Corduroy artery.
I mean, it's 1975, so corduroy I feel like is legit.
Yeah.
Small vessels on the right side of her neck, her pulmonary artery, and the left ventricle of her heart and left lung. Her cause of death was massive bleeding due to multiple stab wounds and like 2 arteries that got severed, obviously.
Wow.
You're bleeding out.
Ugh.
So let's look at the investigation. On December 8th, this is 3 days after her body was found, it was reported that the police found a bloody footprint on the kitchen floor, which led them to determine that the killer was most likely male. However, one newspaper article claimed that after they found the shoe print, they compared it with the shoes of everyone on the scene that had been working. It is not known if the print is the intruders or one of the workers or relatives that had like been walking around.
Yeah, it could be uncle or something.
Right. On December 9th, so the next day, it was reported that a car was double parked near her apartment, like literally on the same road, between 7 and 8:40 p.m. on December 5th.
That's a long time to be parked there, to double park.
That car was described as dark, standard size, American made, and it was parallel parked to the sidewalk on Kloss Drive, which is what apartment, like that's where her apartment was, around the time of her murder, with their headlights on.
It was parallel parked.
Like double parked.
Double parked.
So if this was the road, and then like this is the thing, and then cars are parked here, it was parallel, but on the the lane. Okay. So cars had to drive around it to get around it.
So it must have been like not a busy road for them to feel safe enough to park their car there. Because if I did that here on my roads, I would get
you live in your car would be smashed. You live in I could do it on my road. My road's very calm.
Oh yeah. So it would have to be like a side road like that. Yeah. Okay.
She did live in the suburbs, so it would make sense if it's a little more quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they left their headlights on. Police thought they could either be a witness or maybe a suspect. I don't think they ever found who was in the car, ever.
Yeah.
On December 10th, Lindy's husband was ruled out as a suspect because he had an alibi. He was at work, literally, like when she went to pick up the check and stuff, he was still there. And they had interviewed 100 people by this time. On December 16th, the Lancaster County district attorney, I almost said defense or something, I don't know, decided to boost the investigation by adding additional state police to the case. On February 7th, so this is a few months later, now we've fast forwarded a little bit, it was reported that the police had interviewed 300 people, and they are of the belief that the murderer lived in the same area.
Yeah. I think definitely if they felt safe enough to, number one, to double park.
Yep.
They had, and number two, they knew her.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, whoever it is knew her.
Yep. Well, just wait. I'll get there. So, March 5th, another month later, exactly 3 months to the day, a 43-year-old woman named Mary Shinzing was found stabbed to death in her Columbia, Pennsylvania home. Police were on the lookout for similarities between the two cases. March 16th, which is almost 2 weeks after Mary's murder, Kenneth Dale Arndt, a 33-year-old who resided in Columbia, Pennsylvania, is charged with killing Mary, but is not believed that he is involved in Lindy's murder. We'll get into him later when we talk about theories, like more details about all these suspects I'm going to name. December 26, 1976. So this is just over a year later. It is reported that Lindy's family discovered her tombstone vandalized with red spray paint. It was also chipped and nicked. It is believed that this damage was done at some time in November, right before the anniversary of her death.
Yeah.
I mean, see,
I don't know. Like the kids in that area probably like were, I don't know,
being dicks.
Yeah, that's my only guess. Is they just see a tombstone and they like.
It is possible,
or it could have been the killer. If like.
That's the only thing.
Killing. If it was a rage killing and they still didn't resolve their rage and they go back and they're like, and
which newsflash, killing someone isn't going to solve your problems.
No, don't kill.
Going to give you more problems.
Don't kill.
It's like people that think a baby will fix their marriage. It's just not.
Don't do that either. That's like on the same level.
Sorry.
Like you're ruining the baby's life, you know?
Yeah, it's not a tool to fix anything.
No.
It should just be something you want it, not any other reason. Or if it happens to you, that can be a blessing too.
The murder or the baby?
The baby. I only said I see because I was like, anniversaries. Murderers are big on anniversaries. Yeah, that's all. And if they didn't find it till December 26th, so I'm guessing they probably visited for Christmas, like as a family, and found it vandalized.
Yeah.
It could have been vandalized on December 5th.
Right.
They don't know. They're just assuming it was November.
Probably based on like nature's wear and tear on it, on the damage and stuff. So
right. Well, this is the 70s. How advanced in that are
how
they?
forensic are they getting? You know?
How forensic? How forensic are we going to be right now? I like it. It's a new verb.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over there and forensic some stuff.
I'm doing forensic right now. I'm forensic.
New merch. Yeah. New merch being the only merch because we've made zero merch.
Yeah.
We will. If you guys demand it, we will make merch. Trust me.
Yeah.
Okay. On January 5th, 1977, this is only like a week later, the Manor Township Police received a letter. That letter was marked urgent. This letter was written as if it was from the man who murdered Lindy and vandalized her tombstone. Police considered this letter to be a hoax and did not contact the man.
However, like, what did they give him? His phone number? Probably said leave a note here and I'll find it or something.
I'm going to read it.
Oh, okay.
Not yet, though. I think I put it a little further
Take your
down
time,
for
no
some
rush.
reason. Yeah. I'm going to read it so you'll understand. On October 30th, 1982, this is now 7 years after Lindy's murder, police started to wonder if they should question Gerald Eugene Stano, who was a mass murderer, about Lindy's murder. Stano was arrested in Florida in April and claimed that he was responsible for the deaths of 37 women at the very least. His father lived in East Hampfield Township at the time of Lindy's murder. The police circulated photos of Stano, but no one recognized him. On June 4th, 1983, so
another year.
January.
8 years.
He was ruled out.
Okay.
We'll talk about him. On January 18th, 1984, it was released that the DA's office paid $2,000 back in 1981 and 82 for 2 psychics to come from California to evaluate Lindy's case. Is this what we're budgeting for? I'm not knocking psychics. I know some are very real.
Yeah.
But that's where our taxes are going.
Yeah. But this was a big thing back then. I've read a lot of cases and heard of a lot of cases in the 60s, 70s, 80s where they're getting psychics. If they run out of every single other lead, they'll hire a psychic or two and see where it takes them, especially if they've worked with the psychic in the past, or if the psychic has a reputation of helping to solve. But I've never heard of a psychic that
help.
That has evidence that they've helped the police solve a crime.
Right.
Sylvia Brown is bullshit. But
I also think some psychics are very real.
Yes, I do think that there are psychics.
Yes. Same with mediums. I believe all that shit is absolutely real.
I completely agree with you.
Real.
No, a lot of them, probably 95% of them are bullshit and con artists. Yes. Yep. And the 5% that aren't, they don't come out and tell you, or they're not charging you, or they're not, exploiting. They have that.
It's just
they have it and they don't. Yeah.
And they share it when they want. Yeah.
When they want, when the time is right.
I was just $2,000 back in the 70s had to be what? I don't know.
It's like 5,000 today. I don't know. I just double.
Are you making that up?
Yeah.
Double and round it up one.
Double and add and double. Wait.
Double and add. Is that how it works?
2.5 times. It's always 2.5 times or whatever.
Yeah. I just don't. Whatever. The psychics claim that their impression of Lindy's murderer had dark or olive complexion, dark hairs and eyes. Dark hairs? I mean, every other language says hairs except us. Dark hair and eyes, and had a tattoo on his arm. Paul Wagner, who was the Lancaster County detective, claimed that it sounds like they were describing a man named Mark Capalupo.
Mm-hmm.
Capalupo. I don't know. He was charged in Lancaster County with sexual assault in 1975. He was later shot and killed during an escape attempt from prison. He fit the psychic's description, but he was ruled out as a suspect initially because he was working at the time of her murder. So he had an alibi as well. April 6, 1984. This is 9 years after Lindy's murder. Wagner, the same detective, and I wrote state trooper. For people that don't know what a state is, that's what it is. Oh my God.
It was a moth.
I thought you saw like someone's hand reaching into your window.
I am so sorry. It was just a moth flying up. And it came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it.
Who expects moths?
Right. Terrifying.
Really quick sidebar. Back home, we have, I don't know if you have them in PA, but we have lunar moths. They're huge.
Yeah.
Like this.
Okay, we do have those.
And they're like that pretty, they look like glow in the dark paint.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm on edge.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Ladies, we had the doggy daycare I took them to, or the boarding place. They had cameras and they were like outside playing all day and stuff. So I got to like sit there and watch them play and whatnot. It was a lot of fun.
Cute.
Yeah.
I'm glad they got to have some fun.
Yeah.
While they were abandoned.
Yeah. I know. I felt so bad.
One day when I have a bigger house, I will gladly dog sit. Because then my cat will be able to run away, and here he's a little stuck. So
yeah,
don't want him to hate me forever. Let's see, where was I? Before you scared the living shit out of me.
Okay,
again.
So maybe start at Stady.
Okay, April 6, 1984. 9 years after Lindy's murder, Wagner, the same detective, and a statey, which is a state trooper, in case you're like not hip, traveled out of state to interview someone that they believed had a possible link to Lindy's murder, but the interview didn't end up leading to anything. That's all I have about it. I don't have a name. I have nothing. On April 2nd, 1989, this is 14 years after Lindy's murder, investigators tried using new DNA technology, because it was like brand new at the time, to analyze some blood found at the scene of the crime, but that sample could not be analyzed. And I tried to figure out why it didn't work, but it didn't. I couldn't find why. Because it was also like, you had that giant footprint. How do you not have enough? That's why I was like, I hope it's not because
did they like take a picture or like save the footprint somehow?
I don't know. Not that I found. I'm sure they cast it. They were casting stuff way before then, so I'm sure they cast it.
Okay.
Or at least had, took measurements and stuff. If they were comparing it to all their workers and everything, like they must have done something.
Right.
In June 1992, 17 years after Lindy's murder, Detective Giese, I love that name, Giese.
Yeah.
At this time he was the head detective of Lancaster City Police. He was hired as the county detective with a focus on cold cases. So brand new eyes.
Wow.
That was good. December 6th, 2000, 25 years after Lindy's murder, they released the letter that was sent to them a year after her death to the public. An FBI behavioral specialist told them that it was unlikely that the killer wrote the letter. They claimed that the letter had an indirect or secondary role in Lindy's death, possibly. I'm going to read it to you.
I'm ready.
I'm going to read it how it's written, because some of it is misspelled or like weird. Like grammar's weird, is weird misspellings. Yeah. So I'm going to do my best to make it phonetic and not
messed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wrote, "Hi, Sheeler," which is Police Chief Sheeler.
Mm-hmm.
"Just eats up your heart knowing that you haven't, without an E, caught me yet. Still around. Lindy's marker on her grace just turned me on like she did, and the way she looked all bloody. Like the paint on her marker, the scratch and nick marks represent the knife stabs. Count them. You wondered if the guy at the gas station in Mountville were related to Biechler's murder. Forget it, man. No way. I'll tell you what, Chief Pig. You print this letter in the paper along with a picture in Friday night's Lancaster paper and Saturday morning's paper, and I might confess when I get off my trip. You see, the world owes me a living. Maybe I give you a few hints who I am. Got busted once for drugs a few years back. Live in West End of Lancaster suburbs. This part's my favorite. I am 5 foot 10 inches tall, 205 pounds, fat and beautiful, and capable of killing again without knowing it. December 5th, 1975 was under the stupor of amphetamines, like right now. Well-educated man in the community, single, good job, but God please, Chief, help me. I am losing my mind. Help me before I kill again. The headache's killing me. Every time it aches, the drugs only calm it temporarily. Will God forgive me? Please print this, Chief, in the paper so I know you got it. V, then I write you again. God, I need a priest. What have I done? Help me, please. P.S. Chief Sheeler, my friend has confessed to the killing of Lindy Sue Biechler. As God is my witness, do as he asks. Print this letter on the front page. I'm not aware of his intentions right now, but contemplating murder is not his intentions. He is mentally sick. When the letter appears, then he will turn himself in. He described the relationship he and Lindy had before he killed her. He only realizes it now. When you're on drugs, you're not responsible for your actions. Please, he is asleep now. That's why I finished the letter. All I can tell you, my friend frequents Manor Shopping Center in the evenings and the fields around it, mostly weeknights. He will contact you very soon, and when he does, please bring a Catholic priest to the police station. Janice Crum. Lots of thoughts.
Biggest pet peeve is when people spell loosing.
Well, so it's hard because I can't make everything phonetic.
Right.
He spelled confess with 3 S's. He spelled amphetamines, AMFETAMINES.
I don't doubt that he was on amphetamines when he wrote this.
No. And he said like right no, not like right now.
Yeah.
Like and they're the caps and non-caps and lack of pronunciation, like
that
periods and stuff. It is like the I am 5'10", tall, 205 pounds, fat and beautiful. Beautiful is capitalized.
Also, usually meth heads aren't fat.
Right. But then my favorite part is the part in the letter where he goes, well-educated man in the community. I'm like, look at what you're writing. First of all, community should not be capitalized like it is.
And then you're blaming it all on your friend. You're like, oh, my friend confessed. You know?
Right. It is
like you're shifting the blame from you because you take ownership of it. And then you're like, actually, my friend confessed to it.
Right. We're going to dive a little bit more into the letter in a little bit. So I don't want to go too deep. But yes, just keep it in mind. It is bananas. It all sounds bananas.
This shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Should we cut that? Can we allowed to sing that?
I don't care.
It's a cover. If it's a cover, don't tell Gwen Stefani to sue.
Don't sue us, Gwen. I'm a huge fan. I
am too.
Love Gwen.
I am obsessed with her and what's his name? Her hubby. They're not married yet. The guy from The Voice, the country singer.
Oh God, no. Blake Shelton, no.
I think they're so cute. I hate him, but I love them together.
Okay.
Is that normal?
Wasn't he dating someone else?
This thing's gross. I hate this. Any thing when he wants somebody, he does this finger thing, and I
can't. Wasn't he dating someone else, and then he switched to Gwen?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure there's a scandal there.
Ooh.
We'll cover that in our celebrity news podcast.
Mr. Radical Part 2. Okay. 2.0. June 16th, 2006. This is 31 years after Lindy's murder. I wrote all those like how much time has passed, and I probably got some of it wrong. So if I did, guys, I have dyscalculia. I'm not good with numbers, and I didn't use a calculator. So if I got it wrong, I apologize. Just round it. I'm in the general. I had to use my fingers. Like I'm in the general area. Lindy's case is presented to the IDOCQ Society, and then I wrote look up. And guess what I looked up? Nothing. I forgot. So I'm not going to explain it. It was a group of 50 crime experts that met monthly to hear about unsolved cases so they can give their insights to investigators, which I think is pretty cool. Like fresh eyeballs. Yeah.
We should do that.
Yep. We're not crime experts.
We don't have to. I mean, we kind of are.
In a way.
In our own way. I mean, we're self-proclaimed crime experts.
Isn't that all that matters? On December 3rd, 2007, 32 years almost to the day after Lindy's murder, Mike, Lindy's half-brother, put up a billboard on Route 30 and Route 283. He was asking for any tips regarding Lindy's murder. That's so sad. That's so long. June 26, 2018, 43 years after her murder. Raymond, sorry. This is what he's known as. Raymond DJ Freeze Rowe.
Oh my God, yes.
You know him?
Yeah.
He is, He was 49. He was charged with the rape and murder of Christy Marak. She was a 25-year-old school teacher, and she was murdered on December 21st, 1992, which is 17 years after Lindy's murder.
Mm-hmm.
Anniversaries. But I'm going to debunk that, so... July 16th, 2018, it is reported that Lindy's widower.
Yeah.
When it's a man, it's a widower. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonders if the technology they used to catch Rowe could be used to catch Lindy's killer.
Right.
September 5th, 2019, 44 years after Lindy's murder, and only 2 years ago now. And I wrote gross because again,
like a year and a month.
2021. Yeah, it's not that crazy. 2 images are released by investigators. These images were created from the DNA from semen found in Lindy's underwear, and they are of what the killer might have looked like at the age 25 and age 65. So there's 2 images.
Excellent.
They believe he is,
What about the family DNA? Are they going to do it?
Well, this is the DNA that they used. I'll get there.
Okay.
They believe he is Southern European, possibly Middle Eastern. They were thinking along the Mediterranean coast as far as east as Iran. He is described as likely fair-skinned, which I was like, that doesn't okay.
And that's just meaning that doesn't mean that he's from there. That just means that he's he could be American and that's his heritage.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is likely fair-skinned, very likely has hazel eyes, almost certainly has dark hair, and almost certainly has no freckles.
Okay.
How you can get that from DNA? I'm fascinated.
Yeah, I love that though.
I know, it's so fascinating. The composites were created by a private firm and are based on DNA evidence from the crime scene. They focus on phenotype composite work. I was supposed to look that up and I forgot. So yay. Along with genealogy work, and they worked in the Marak investigation. So they're the ones that caught DJ Freeze.
Yeah, I think that it is the same one that caught the Golden State Killer.
It's the same exact company.
Yeah.
I wrote that later, I think.
I don't think I can remember the name of it.
It's I didn't write it down. It was like
Paragon. Yeah. Paragon Labs.
Nanotech something or something like that. Yeah. The DA's office also claims to have done some genealogy work, which has potential leads. And I wrote maybe the whole Italian thing. I don't know where that came from, but they firmly believe that someone out there could have information, and they haven't decided like he's dead. They think he could very possibly still be roaming around. These tests have completely eradicated any suspicion of Lindy's husband being the murderer. So he is it's not him.
Yeah. Typically it is the husband,
right?
But
because that's my first thought too, but I give him the benefit of a doubt and he's innocent.
Yeah.
And he even said, I think years and years later, he was like, I wish that they could figure out who did it.
Yeah.
So some stuff to discuss. A few weeks before her murder, Lindy had told family and friends on multiple occasions that she believed she was being followed. And some articles said that she saw someone peeking in through her slider, like through her windows or her slider door or whatever. So I don't think he knew her, but he knew her. You know what I mean? She was suspicious, and she was afraid to be left home alone, which is why her uncle and her aunt were headed to her house.
We're stopping by
to wait until her husband came home. So that gives them their reason for visiting. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of late for them to go over.
But if she just got home at 7, and if her husband, say if he's working at a bar, he's going to be home at what, 11? That's still 3 hours of her being alone, of her being afraid of being alone.
Why not go whenever? Because this is winter, right? That she died?
Yeah, December.
So that's when it gets dark earlier. So I would think it's definitely dark by 7 p.m. when she got home.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have thought that they would have come over sooner.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, though.
It's also the time before cell phones, so.
Yeah, and they probably, like, most of the time they're like, it's probably nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When actually, like, this time it was something.
It was something. Yeah.
That's nothing.
Terrible. We're going to go into theories because I have so much information on all these people.
Okay.
Paul Capalupo.
Yeah.
He was the one charged. He was the one charged with sexual assault.
Okay.
To be more specific, he was charged with 2 counts of indecent assault, 4 counts of felonious restraint, 4 counts of involuntary deviant sexual intercourse, 2 counts of simple assault, 2 counts of aggravated assault, recklessly endangering another person, rape, and robbery. He pleaded not guilty to any of those crimes.
Yeah.
DNA canceled him out of Lindy's case.
Okay.
Gerald Eugene Stano. He was the one they were like, we should go question him because he has whatever. I just looked up some information about him. He has quite an extensive rap sheet between Florida, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. His victims ranged from age 12 to 34. He was prosecuted for 33 murders, but it is believed he was involved in up to 88. He admitted that he began killing in the early 70s when he was in his early 20s, but he also claimed to have started in the late 60s. He used different methods of killing between gunshot, strangulation, and stabbing, but none were ever raped. He was also housed with true crime favorite Ted Bundy at one point during his incarceration until Bundy was executed in 1989. DNA canceled him out of Lindy's murder. But don't worry, he was convicted of 9 murders, given 8 life sentences and 1 death sentence, and was executed by electric chair in March of 1998.
Perfect.
So he's gone.
Yeah.
Great. But there you go. Kenneth Dale Arndt. A-R-N-D-T. Arndt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arndt.
He was charged at the age 33 for stabbing Mary Shinzing in her Columbia, PA apartment, the first one that I mentioned.
Okay.
He originally pleaded not guilty, but then ended up pleading guilty. And in all honesty, this is all I can find on either of them, on Mary or on him.
My guess is that they probably did run DNA. You know, if they had the DNA, they probably ran it against him and ruled him out. Otherwise.
But they didn't rule him out.
Oh.
Hello? Or is that the cat? Can I help you?
Is someone breaking in?
You could have answered, you fucking weirdo.
So, like, real quick.
Yeah.
If someone were breaking into your apartment right now, do I, and I'm like watching it or whatever, do I call the police?
Cops. Yes.
And I just say, hey, my friend Lynn is being attacked or whatever. This is her address. And then they'll come over, right?
Yep, hopefully.
I only question that because I think that like it takes the police, especially around here, a really long time to respond to things.
I don't know who else you could call though.
There's no one. There's no superheroes. There's no no one else is going to do anything.
Spider-Man, why can't you live in my neighborhood?
Yeah.
For many reasons. I would want to be friends with you and we could go to a deli and eat a sandwich.
And we could tie random people up.
Yes. For stealing bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
Take down those petty thieves.
Yeah. I just wanted to confirm our game plan.
Yes. Is that what you would like me to do?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I wouldn't want you to come here and then endanger yourself.
Right. And plus, like,
so
I wouldn't want to wait that long.
I would hope that you would know that you can also hit record so that this will be lost forever.
Yeah.
And I would definitely fight the fuck back. And if I knew you were recording, I would be yelling information about them. Be like, Scar! Brown eyes! Like I would try to give you as much evidence.
I'd hit record while you're screaming and I'd be calling the police.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Are you calling them right now? Don't do that. It was fraud. You just didn't answer when I asked him what he wanted. All right, let's go back because I don't know where we left off. So I didn't find any other information about Kenneth Dale Arndt. After he pleaded not guilty, I found like another court proceeding type transcript that I grazed it because it wasn't really about this crime in particular.
Right.
And he was like claiming that he was not guilty and his what's the word? Not submission. Confession was like due to him not understanding that just pleading guilty didn't spare him from the death penalty. Obviously, that's a deal that has to be made and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So it did end up with him spending life in prison. And that's all I could find out about either of them. Besides like death certificates and like where her grave is and obituaries. That's kind of it.
Right.
Raymond DJ Freeze Rowe.
Yeah.
I just have a little blurb. 2 years ago, Raymond Rowe, known as DJ Freeze, pleaded guilty for the rape and murder of Christy Marak in 1992. In 2019, he was 50, which means he was 23 at the time of her murder, and that would put him around the age of 6 when Lindy was murdered. I know some children can be murderers, but a full-grown, like a 6-year-old killing a full-grown woman that's not, no.
And plus, like, the girl that he murdered, he met at a bar or met at a wedding and then like followed her home and stuff. So it was that situation, which it's not like
there was a connection.
Yeah.
The only thing his arrest did, besides providing a conviction and a life sentence plus 60 to 120 years, which is beautiful for murdering one person. That's what you get. Good. Rot. Was give hope that the DNA technology that used to catch him almost 30 years after Christy's murder gave hope to Lindy's family and detectives. And they used the same lab as the one to make the composite sketch of Lindy's possible killer. And it was the same technology used to catch D'Angelo.
Wonderful.
Okay. This one's a reach, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. Richard Haefner, Dr. Richard Haefner. I got his name off of Web Sleuths. Someone had just like mentioned it and I was like, I'm not going to read what you wrote. I'll look into it myself. His trial was set for 1976, according to the Philadelphia Inquirer. He had his PhD in geology with a study in volcanology, which is just a cool ass word.
Is that volcanology or is it?
Yeah, volcanoes. Study of volcanoes.
Isn't there a bird Vulcan?
A vulture?
Vulture. Right.
He was about to begin a job as the head of the Los Angeles Museum of Natural History in the summer of 1975. Nope, let me rephrase that. He was supposed to start in 76. In the summer of 1975, look where that puts him. In Lancaster, PA, helping his parents' business. They sell cool rocks to the Smithsonian Museum for gift shops, which I just wrote because it's kind of like a cool job. You don't think about that. You don't think about where those rocks come from or how they get there.
Right.
So while he's helping his parents in this little business that they're doing or whatever for the summer before he moves to LA and does his big job, he was arrested for sodomizing a 12-year-old boy and corrupting the morals of a 14-year-old boy who had at some point worked. They had both at some point worked for his family's business, but he had fired them for laziness. Or you were just done with them, you sick fuck. Anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, or you were done with them, or they were not like allowing you to do anything to them. And so you were like, well, my revenge is firing you.
Yeah. The trial led to a hung jury and has led to more and more questions about Hafner, whatever. He was put in jail for 30 days for blurting out on the witness stand that he passed a lie detector test, which was previously ruled inadmissible in court. Then there were conspiracies that he was being framed by one of the boy's brothers, who's a convicted burglar. Police have been paid off in exchange for damaging testimony that Hafner's family was harassed by police, that his friends had illegally recorded conversations with the 12-year-old, blah, blah, blah. He is commonly linked with the unsolved murder of Betsy Aardsma in 1969 due to them going on a few dates and her saying she was frightened by him, followed by Hafner being highly upset about her murder before it was reported publicly in the newspapers. I don't want to fully get into it because that is another unsolved case for another day. Betsy was stabbed in the Penn State Library with a hunting knife.
Oh, I know this one.
It punctured her pulmonary artery and right ventricle of her heart. Sound familiar?
This was on Forensic Files or something. Not Forensic
I bet.
Files, but it was on. I remember watching a show about it and
Yeah.
also listening about it. It's a very like well-known Pennsylvania one.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, but it sounds awful. He was the primary suspect, but they couldn't pin him for the murder because of contamination of evidence, and he died in 2002 of a heart attack.
Yeah.
I don't think we can rule him out.
No.
As potential. I can't find any other ties with Lindy or anything, but I don't think we can rule him out.
I mean, yeah, especially if he was in the area at the time.
Right. And that was just me going on like a side. I saw a thread and I pulled it. Like it wasn't, it's not, they're not linked anywhere else except for web sleuths. There's other talks about 3 people that I can't find any information on. One was a hospital worker who visited the flower shop that she worked at.
Okay.
I can't find anything else. One of Lindy's mother's boyfriends, or one of the investigators working on her case. I also couldn't find any information about that. I also wrote the name Gerald Allen Brown, and I couldn't find why I wrote that or where that name came from. So I would probably cut that last one.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, I could definitely see it being the mother's boyfriend.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it could be anyone.
It's personal.
But...
Stabbing is personal, and you stabbing someone that many times in the neck and the chest, and then like I'm assuming she tried to get away, and that's why there was some in her back. You know,
it was definitely someone that she knew, and it wasn't someone that she didn't know. And the reason I say that is because if you're being stalked and you're murdered, the stalker's going to move to another victim. Like he's going to move on. So there was no known serial killer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or serial killings that were similar and stuff like that.
That's a really good point.
So it was definitely someone that she knew or had met personally that may have been stalking her, you know, like just watching her.
Or at least they believed they had because, you know, stalkers are a little crazy. So like they believed that they had a relationship with her, even if they didn't.
Right. And then like whenever they show up at the house and everything is revealed, she didn't react the way that they expected her to.
Right. She fought.
Right.
It could totally be somebody that visited the flower shop. You know what I mean? If you work in a shop, you see people in passing and you get to know some customers, but also it's not like it's a coffee shop where people are constantly like I've worked in a coffee shop and I'm like, you get to know your regulars very well.
And it only happened once though. Like there was not another similar killing in that area. So maybe they moved out of area, but I don't know. Well,
speaking of moving, another string that we can just, because it's fun. This one's fun. As terrible, as fucked up as that sounds. The letter writer, Zodiac, again. The blog written on Michelle McNamara's site. It wasn't written by Michelle McNamara. It was written by a guy named Mike Morford, who owns Zodiac Killer site.
I know him. He's a podcast. I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know him personally. I'm not making that.
Hi, Mike.
No, but he has a couple of podcasts that I enjoy.
He does. I want to listen. I was digging all through his site.
It's Criminology is one.
And I think I followed that one.
The first season was about God, don't do this to me.
Sorry.
I don't remember, but it was one case. And then they did the Golden State Killer. And as the Golden State Killer was getting arrested, like they were up to date with everything. Like
that's cool.
It was really neat how
I'll have to listen. I think I've followed his podcast and I just never, and I haven't been driving, so I haven't been listening to podcasts. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So this guy, he wrote this article for her, but then I obviously wound up on his website and digging around and stuff. He claimed that he came across this letter during his investigation of the Zodiac Killer and found some similarities. One being that the author wanted the letter published in the Friday night paper, which was what the Zodiac requested in 1969, which I thought was fascinating. He also claims that this letter has the same spelling errors, words, and phrases. I tried to find like a side by side of a Zodiac letter and this one, but honestly, it's a lot of work. And I don't think they had similar handwriting. It looks very different in my opinion, but I'm not a handwriting analyst, as cool as that would be. I also would rather do that research like real justice and give it time. And I just didn't have the time to do that.
Right.
While doing a good job. So I didn't really look into it. This letter was but if someone wants to, like, please do. And please let us know because I want to know.
Yeah.
The letter was a mix of print and cursive writing. It is written in 2 parts, supposedly by the killer and then by Janice Crum, whoever that is. And police believe that there was only one author and they never found a woman with that name connected to Lindy. So we don't think Janice Crum is like real. Right. Apparently, the original letter has since been lost.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. 70s? Absolutely.
Small town police department.
Yeah,
Come on.
No. I believe it is either the killer, if it was the letter writer in any way, I believe it is either the killer trying to copy the style of Zodiac or maybe just someone looking for attention or whatever. And it's a hoax by someone who is interested in studying how the Zodiac did letters because it was kind of recent.
Yeah.
Especially if they have similar phrasing and spelling errors. Like, I don't think it's the killer, but I think that they definitely had some affiliation with Zodiac if it's really that similar to like, be like, oh, I'm going to write it like how he wrote it and I'm going to request what he requested and da-da-da because it worked for him and the San Francisco Chronicle posted his stuff and whatever. So,
yeah. But the Zodiac was a serial killer and this guy, like, you know,
is a letter writer.
Is a letter writer.
I mean, he's fat and beautiful. Mm-hmm. I love the body positivity. That's such a great statement.
Yeah, that's great. That's really good.
About the only good thing in that letter is your body positivity. So what are your theories?
I definitely think that it was someone that she knew, number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, I think that maybe they were stalking her. Maybe it was an ex-boyfriend. Police, are you listening?
And she was a newlywed, so
maybe it was like maybe he was pissed off about it. Maybe the husband was having an affair. We don't know.
Or like his high school sweetheart, maybe.
Because I just listened to a case where it was a cold case.
Yeah.
Where it was like this girl was murdered after she got married. She was murdered. And it turns out like 25 years later, it was actually the husband's like college fling person who was a cop now was the one who did it. And they like had to like hide all this stuff from her and whatnot. It was really good. It was a Dateline episode.
Oh, I love Dateline.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could see it being that. I could see it being a regular customer, like you said, like someone that went in to buy flowers regularly, or it could be an older person. It could be a younger person. I don't know age-wise, but I do think that she had contacts with this person. And when she saw this person in her home, she recognized them and knew something was off.
Yeah, I agree.
I do think that she knew them. In some form or another. And it was a rage killing, but also it only happened this one time.
Right.
That I'm thinking because
unless he traveled
to another area, right?
Yeah.
But
if he was a local,
it sounds like he's or she is a local. Well, probably if the footprint belongs.
But we don't know who that footprint belonged to. Could have been anybody.
No. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I strongly believe that she knew him though.
Yeah. Which is a bummer.
Yeah.
Super bummer. It's also super bummer because it's been 46 years, 45 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, is her husband still living?
I think so.
Good, then he's probably on it, like with.
And her brother and stuff has been fighting to find out who killed her and whatever. So
they need to do the genealogy
Genealogical?
Familial DNA.
Do you need me to call an ambulance? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, you're good?
I'm
Which
good.
was it?
They need to do the familial DNA. I mean,
Yeah.
I know.
Well, it sounds like they
understand that
did.
they're backlogged.
Yeah.
Well, unless that
Or they're in the
person-
process of it.
Yeah.
I mean, they only did the composite sketches, which we'll post on Instagram. I have all those pictures.
I'm interested
Like
to
2
see
years
them.
ago.
I've always been like,
I'll share with you right now so you can see.
I've always been like, I wonder if there's like a central PA murder where, you know, I know the person.
It's totally possible.
It is possible, and I wouldn't doubt it.
Where is it? This is like when he was 25, and then this would be him at 65.
He looks like everyone I know.
Yeah.
Honestly, he looks like everyone.
Yeah. Super basic.
I thought that he had a mole, but it's actually just something gross on my screen.
I hate when that happens.
It's not a mole. Okay.
Yeah, he looks just like a Joe Schmo.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting.
Which some of those pictures, some of those like guys that I said kind of looked like him. Like I think Heifer, Dr. Heifer or whatever, he was like, I only saw a black and white picture, but he had really dark hair and no freckles that I saw or anything. So I don't know. Well,
come on, Pennsylvanians.
I know.
Look at the picture.
Let's do it. Let's solve it. Please. For her poor family. If he's still there 45 years later in the same town. You know.
He might.
He could be. At the end of it all, 3 generations of detectives have been working on this investigation, like actively working on it, which I do think is cool, but it does make me sad because I would know it might be because she's a white woman, which is like great that they're doing it. Can you do that for everybody? That'd be nice. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They have continuously kept some information to themselves, obviously, because police tactics. There is something, few things that the killer himself would know, which, as any true crime addict knows, is like critical in finding a killer or catching him.
It gets to a point though where you need to release a bit more. The evidence that you've released isn't enough.
Well, look at the FBI. They didn't release their stuff till like last year on the Phantom killings, and that was in the 40s.
Yeah.
So it took them a long time to release any of that.
Or like have a little trusted team. There's so many people online nowadays that are like armchair detectives. That's the word.
Yeah.
Where they're happy to do this stuff for free.
Yeah.
You know? Just because they have an interest in doing it. So like get a team of them to sign an NDA.
Yep.
And give them all the facts and be like, now find him and let them do their thing. Give them a small budget to like figure shit out.
Yeah. Give it to me. I'm not an armchair sleuth. I will maybe.
But I mean, I can scour. I would do it.
If I had the capability, the resources, absolutely. Right. I would pull all the threads, all of them.
Yes.
All of them.
Yep. I concur.
We could do it. One day, JP, we're gonna have money.
And we're going to hire
not that we don't have money now, but like money to do that stuff. And we are going to solve shit because we will give ourselves the resources and the contacts.
Yep.
And everything. Maybe we should hook up with Crime Stoppers. I don't know.
We could.
You ready?
I'm ready.
If you or someone in your family has any information, you can go to whokilledlindybiechler.com or contact the Lancaster City County Crime Stoppers at 1-800-322-1913 or text your tip to 847-411. You could also call the Manor Township Police. Again, please don't call 911. That is for emergencies, and that's not what this is. at 717-299-5231 or the Lancaster County DA's office at 712-299-8100. Or if you'd just like to share your own theories or give me another string that I can just pull forever, please feel free to email us at mrreticle@gmail.com. Follow us at Mr. Reticle on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. And don't forget to give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't play with strangers.
And don't trust your government.
If you live on a first floor apartment, please get a German Shepherd.
Or a pit bull.
Or a Rottweiler.
Or any short-haired dog, because not a small dog.
Like a big dog.
Get a
big dog that will protect you.
Or not protect you, but it looks menacing.
Yes. Perfect. I'm just leaving it like that.
I think it's perfect.
I'm not going to clean it up for anything.
It's so funny.
Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
I know you're ready. Oh my God, wait till you hear the beginning of Camp Hero. I'll cut this. I do the intro and I'm like, welcome to Sarah. And then I go, I'm Lynn, but you would just take a sip and you're like, and then we just laugh for like 10 minutes and it's fucking hilarious.
I love it.
My face is red. Oh my God.
Is it warm?
No, it's from laughing.
Oh. Is it warm over there?